And they came into 66 from the tributary side roads, from the wagon tracks and the rutted country roads. 66 is the mother road, the road of flight. The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck. The American public was introduced to the old road when it was christened in 1926. A collection of farm roads connecting rural America to industrial America. Only a few miles of the highway was paved. The rest, just long, dusty stretches of tough traveling dirt road. But in 1926, America was thirsty for road travel, and then the increasingly popular Ford automobiles became stiff competition for the American railroad system. From this was born an American icon, an international legend, a piece of Americana cemented in song, book, film, and forever linked with the spirit of the American traveler. Route 66 is the old road. Snaking across 8 states, it is the Main Street of America. It is the Mother Road. It is Steinbeck. It is Kerouac. It is Will Rogers, Charles Kuralt, and Bobby Troup. 66 is the Great Depression, World War II, rock and roll and folk music. It's Chevy Corvettes and Harley Roadhogs. It's grease-soaked burgers, maple syrup, steak and shake, truck stops, wigwams, the Grand Canyon, and the St. Louis Arch. It's the Dust Bowl, the Panhandle, and the Painted Desert. It's single-pump gas stations with 5-cent soda pop, drive-in movie theaters, Blue Whales, coconut cream pie, Indian Trading Post, Buffalo Burgers, Honky Tonks, Harvey Girls, frozen custard, and cozy dogs. Route 66 is the pulse of the American dream and the embodiment of the American spirit. Route 66 is the America we lost and the America that we're still looking for. So join us now as we travel the old road in search of America, the friendly ghost of our past and the gentle spirits of our future.
I've been part of the Mother Road of Route 66 since October 7th, 1945, to be precise. That was the date I was born. I was born very close to an original alignment of the highway in St. Louis. Just about as far off the original Mother Road as Stan the Man Musial could swat a hardball. That's how close I was. So the road was part of me. It was our main street, and it was through my whole life.
A lot of people would say it's simply the lure of the open road, the adventure that lies in wait. You never know what's going to be around the next bend, what kind of experience you may have, what you may see. With Route 66, the road changes. You can go 20 miles down the road and everything's different. The landscape, the people, the town, the landmarks. So it's the thrill of getting out on the road and just creating your own adventure, I think, for a lot of people. I believe too that what they're now calling heritage tourism is becoming a big thing in this country, and people are interested in going back to their roots. They're looking back toward those simpler times.
It's hard to know what to expect when beginning a journey down the old road. Many experts and road travelers might tell you that that is precisely the point. Unfold a U.S. road map. Put your finger on Chicago and try to find Route 66, America's most famous highway. You won't find it because it's not there. It has mysteriously disappeared, bypassed by a faster, safer, far more advanced system of interstates. The American traveler no longer has to limp down the dangerous, curvy old two-lane road. The American traveler can zip from Santa Fe to LA without having to stop for the night. We buried the old road in the small, unimportant towns it ran through. We said goodbye to that part of our history, we thought, forever.
One of the dangers with Route 66 as it was, segment by segment as it became decertified until finally we were down to one segment left at Williams, was that the entire culture that had to do with two-lane highways and motels and neon was being lost. The interstate system has in the east plazas, and out here almost small strip malls attached to them, and they're large truck stops and so on. But every truck stop looks like every other truck stop. All the chains were there, so you really couldn't get up in the morning and have any idea about where you were. If the landscape wasn't different, you wouldn't know. Route 66 was entirely different from that. The driving experience was also different. On the interstate, you're driving with your eyes and your mind maybe a half a mile to a mile ahead. On a curvy road like Route 66 and other two lanes, you're looking at maybe 60 to 100 yards out. You never know what's around the next curve because you can't see it. So every turn in the road is a surprise, and the Route 66 television series capitalized on that. Their tagline was adventure around every turn and romance in every town. Because you passed right down through the main streets of every town. In fact, that's how it got its name, is the Main Street of America, because it was originally assembled from little farm-to-market roads that were led directly into towns from the farms, and city streets, even a private driveway or two wound up as part of that system.
When we got bypassed, the world stopped for us, for our community, and it stayed that way for 10 long years. You want to remember that when we were bypassed, it was still, much of it was still two-lane. This highway right here was widened to 4 lanes from 2 lanes in 1966. I can take you down to the copper cart and show you where the state put the cylinder in the ground. Well, when the traffic hit Seligman, they used us for a passing lane. We had to literally watch it close and run across the street. The speed limit was 35, but they were doing 45 and 50. So we get bypassed. The traveling public was in such a hurry for the freeways to open up that they took to it, to I-40, like ducks take to water. So they just forgot about us. There was no reason to get out of bed. There wasn't much business. But in the 1980s, early 1980s, these same people that couldn't wait for the freeways to open up, they began to trickle back into town. Women and men all sounded like a recording. When I was a little boy, when I was a little girl, this has got to be the highway that my parents used to go to California, the land of milk and honey. This is the highway